Yo, Kpaceguy here. What's going on, YouTube? Now, I know you see what's in front of us and you saw the title, so let me explain really quickly. I know that I say never get a soundbar unless you're gonna get one that's really, really good. But I decided to go ahead and get this soundbar just for review. And so this is the Vizio SB3251-EO. Vizio is probably one of the leading brands in soundbars because they have a lot of options. You can get a 2.1 channel, a 2.0, a 5.1, a 5.1.4, a 5.1.2, whatever you want to do, they have that for you. And then the soundbar comes in different sizes, 32 inch, 28 inch, 36 inch, 45, 44. So there's a lot of variety of soundbars from Vizio. So of course, they're one of the most popular ones to get, and they're relatively cheap, and you get a lot of cool things with it for the price. So I went ahead and got one just for review. I'm gonna keep it for a couple of days, listen to it, tell you what I think about it, and see if I can break it in and what I think about it. I know the subwoofer here, it says it's down to as low as 20 hertz, so I'm definitely gonna test that because I don't know a soundbar subwoofer that goes down to 20, so we're gonna test that here. But without further ado, we're gonna break this box open. We're gonna go through setup, and we're gonna see how it sounds initially. So guys, right now what you're looking at is the first box that you're gonna get whenever you pop this open. Now I'm using my internal mic on my phone, so the voice quality may be a little bit different. But let me start off by saying, and please don't roast me in the comments for how long it takes me to open this box. I've never had a soundbar before, so I didn't know where to open it from. I knew there was tape on the side, but I wasn't sure where to open it from, how to open it. So it took me a little bit to open the box. But while we're opening the box, we'll go ahead and talk about what's inside of it. So again, this is the 5.1 version. There's so many different versions of Vizio soundbars for you to choose from, but I chose the 5.1. There's Dolby Atmos, there's 2.1, there's a 5.1.2, 5.1.4. There's just a soundbar by itself, and then there's different size soundbars. This one's a 32 inch soundbar, so it's made for TVs for about 39 inches and higher. And so inside the box, you're going to be greeted with a soundbar itself, of course, but you have two rear satellite speakers, which you'll see here in just a minute. Two rear satellite speakers that are not wireless. They have to be wired. The only wireless thing in this soundbar is the subwoofer itself. It's the only thing that's wireless. You still have to plug the subwoofer up via the power plug that you'll see here in a second. Have to supply it power, which also powers the side surrounds, or the back surrounds I should say, and that's how you're going to power this thing up. It has virtual surround sound, or excuse me, it has true surround sound, so those are what the rear satellites for. You can turn off the rear satellite speakers, but you'll lose a ton of immersion with that, so you kind of want to leave those on. But right now, what we're pulling out first out of the back of the box is the subwoofer itself, which is about no more than maybe 12 to 15 pounds, not very heavy at all. And you'll see here that it's made of MDF wood and a little bit of plastic, hard plastic on the top there. And then the small cubes, which we'll open that first. The cubes here, those are the satellite speakers, your left and your right rear speakers. And you'll see on the back that they have an RCA plug on the back. And you'll use this, they come with a wire, which is about 50 feet or so, maybe even more, to wire them to your subwoofer. So depending on where your subwoofer is, you might have a long string going across your room or your house. But if you move your subwoofer anywhere between 0 to 50 feet, you may be able to make that wire distance a little bit shorter. But that's what the speakers look like. It's a mesh grill all the way around. There's only one driver in that speaker there, not even the tweeter, so it's a full range speaker, so to say. And so that's the same thing for the other one that I'm unboxing here now. Same speaker, you see them two together. We're gonna unbox now the subwoofer. Again, the subwoofer doesn't weigh a thing. I think it has maybe like a 5 1/4. I'm not 100% sure on the size driver that it has, but it has a relatively small driver you can see there, with some stabilization feet on the bottom, which actually do pretty well. This subwoofer really isn't gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna be impactful enough to move anywhere, but you can see that hard plastic on the top there with the Vizio logo just there on the top. And then again, it's covered with MDF wood with a coating on top of it and the sides as well as the bottom. And then there's that driver there. It looks like a high excursion driver, but again, it's not very big, so don't expect too much. Have a decent sized port on the back, and you'll see there where you connect your wireless speakers to. You have your left and your right. They're color coded with blue and silver, so you can't go wrong there. On and off button, because this is powered, and of course your AC in. So that's going to be there for your subwoofer. That's going to pack a punch. It's said to go down to 20 hertz, but we're definitely going to test that out because I'm not sure if that's going to be true. And even if it is true, it's probably not going to have much volume to it. But let's go ahead and get out the soundbar now. The soundbar doesn't weigh any more than a subwoofer does, maybe 15, 16 to 20 pounds. It's 32 inches, so it's not going to be, or excuse me, 36 inches. No, it was 32 inches. 32 inches, so it's not too big, not too small. It's not going to be obtrusive in the front of your room. It's going to tuck away pretty nicely under any TV you have. If you're using this to mount, it just has mounts inside of it. I'll go ahead and tell you what's in that box there. So besides the speakers and the soundbar itself, you're gonna have your remote control with the batteries included, so that's always a nice touch. You're having 2 satellite speaker audio cables, your left and your right. You're gonna have your HDMI cables there, your digital optical cable, and your stereo RCA to 3.5 millimeter audio cable. So there's different options for you to connect to your TV depending on what's best for you. And if you're planning on wall mounting these, they do have some 4 wall mount screws and then 2 brackets for the wall. They have brackets for the satellite speakers as well, so if you want to mount your speakers to the wall, you can. And then of course they have a mounting template to make it easy for you, and then a quick start guide as well in the box. And what they did nicely was throw in 4 Velcro ties so you can keep your cables nice and tidy out the way. But let's go ahead and unwrap the soundbar here. So the soundbar has 3 drivers in it. It has a left, center, and a right. Being a smaller soundbar, you're not going to get a lot of immersion from the front stage because they're not wide enough. In a regular home theater terms, when you're using like a bookshelf speaker or maybe a floor standing speaker, you want to have your speakers about 6 feet apart, no less than that, just so that you can tell the separation between the channels, left, right, and center. But being a small soundbar, you only can put those speakers so far apart. But it does conventionally well. You see there, it's made of the same material as all the other speakers, has the mesh grill all the way around, has the MDF wood on the back. It's mostly a hard plastic on the back actually. Pretty hard plastic there, you'll see in a second. Back here, you're gonna have your HDMI cables here. You plug your HDMI in there, your auxiliary, and then your optical will go on this side here. There's that hard plastic. You see the mounting brackets or where they would go. And then on the other side, you have your power plug, and then you have a USB, which I'm not yet sure what's for, but we'll definitely find that out soon. So this is where my center channel, or I guess soundbar, will be sitting just slightly underneath the television. I'm pulling it up for you guys just to get a better view of it, but it's gonna sit down there, and you kind of get an idea of what it looks like. It's underneath a 48-inch television, so it's not too big, not too small. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward through this, but this is how long it took me to do setup. I have some issues with my television, which most people won't have. I have a Samsung 2015 4K SUHD television, and Samsung uses One Connect mini boxes. If you're not really familiar with Samsung, and you connect all your inputs to the One Connect mini so that only one cable goes to your television to try to keep cable management down. But the issue with this is that Samsung has a bad history of their One Connect mini boxes failing over time. And so for me, I had to connect it via the audio out, kind of like a headphone jack basically. So I'm only getting stereo left and right, but I'll definitely hook it up in the big home theater with the HDMI cable and get you a better representation, because HDMI does have ARC, which is audio return channel. So you are able to communicate with television with the soundbar. You do have Bluetooth as well for you streaming people. So you can stream your music to the soundbar from pretty good distance, I heard. So we'll definitely test that out. But you can see just how small that subwoofer is as we connect it. It's really small. I'm sitting it right next to my soundbar underneath my television. You can see there's not much distance between the two. So super small, but it was really easy to connect. Down there at the bottom left corner, you see that meter going up. It's a light meter. That meter is going to tell you everything that you're doing with your soundbar. That's volume up and down, if you're changing treble, bass, your subwoofer level. And you'll change all of that with the remote there that they provided for you. Now you do see that display at the top there, but it's not backlit, so you'll need some light in order to see it. It does not glow in the dark, so you will not be able to see that in the dark. But we'll go flip through the menus real quick. So if you press menu, you can go through bass, treble, center, things like that. You can kind of tweak it to your liking as much as you want. But I'll talk in a later video. There's some weird stuff that goes on with these controls that I gotta bring to your attention later on in another video. But you do see there you have a lot of different things that you can do with this remote. and everything is controlled right there from the remote. So try not to lose that. You're going to need it to do most of the functioning on the soundbar itself. All the soundbar has is power on, power off. So
left front.
And right here we'll do a speaker test for you.
Left front, center, center, right front, right front, right rear, right rear, left rear, left rear.
So there you go, guys. That's just my quick overview of the Vizio soundbar. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I'm definitely gonna make a second video coming up of that sound demo. I have a lot to say about the sound demo, and I have a lot to say about the configuration and the kind of the sound settings you can kind of do on that remote. I'm gonna leave this here. I like it and I hate it. It's a mixed relationship right now, mixed feelings about this soundbar, but definitely stay tuned for a later video coming this week on this soundbar, because I have a lot to say about it. I'm impressed with some things and I'm very distraught about some other stuff. So definitely leave a like on this video if you found this video informative. Leave a comment down below. What soundbar are you using? Do you have a soundbar right now? If you don't have a soundbar, would you ever use one? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. And hit that subscribe button so that you're staying tuned to the videos that I'm putting up in the future. Stay safe out there, stay warm. I know it's cold in most of the United States, so be bundled up, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Kpaceguy out.